Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's good, everybody? We are back. I'm here with JP. It's like, nah.
It's PK.
I'm here with PK.
That was RJ.
Right. He wasn't with us the last video.
They can't get my name right over here.
When we did Bad Boys for Life.
Bad Boys for Life.
No
we
respect.
got Jerry D.
What's up?
And us three, we have all just seen It last night. It Chapter 2. We're going to touch that, but no spoilers. No spoilers. We will notify you when we're going to switch over to spoilers. So we're going to give our review, our opinions on things. We're going to touch on it, but at the same time, it's going to be no spoilers. We will let you know when. Matter of fact, I will have it at the bottom, the time point that we will actually begin to speak on spoilers. So, to kick it off, how y'all feel about the movie?
I loved it, personally. I had heard so much of this negative feedback or reviews about it, and so I kind of went in with like a, this is probably, I mean, I knew I was going to enjoy it because I loved the first one.
Right.
I loved obviously the original.
Right.
But people had been bashing it so much that I was like, oh man, this must suck. And then I went into it and I loved it. I thought it was tremendous, and I thought it was in my opinion scarier than the first one.
Ooh.
It scared me more than the first one did. As far as like jumping, like I haven't jumped in a horror movie in a long time, and that made me at least 2 or 3 times I jumped out of my seat. Like, whoa, like whoa.
All right, okay.
Jay, what you think?
I went in with that same mindset because so many people were bashing it. I liked it more than I thought I would like it. Can't say I loved it, but I did like it more than I thought I would, given all the pre-release bad buzz about it. Now, here's the thing: I wasn't scared per se. Most of it, the scenes that I think that scared me most were but there was scenes that scared me, but not in the same way that the first one did. The first one was, I thought, legitimately terrifying, and this one was made you more think, more pause, and I think of that. But I thought it was certainly much better than people are giving it credit for. And we also got to remember we're still in a very rare era of great Stephen King adaptations. There was a period of time where these are almost like Stephen King would even bash them, and we know he's all for this. So no, it's a good movie. It's a solid movie.
So me, I love the movie. Especially if you compare it to the 1990, how that ending with the adults went. I love this. They took a lot of things from the old one and kept it, and didn't keep certain things. It was very good. But if I'm being honest, and I'm not gonna go into details because we still in the no spoiler, there was one thing about the ending that I wasn't really feeling that much. But all in all, I still think it was a great movie. I don't like comparing part 1, part 2, but I know people are going to do that. And I feel like some people might like part 1 because, the kids. You love kids. You genuinely feel for kids.
Yeah.
And then when they're adults, you kind of care less. Not to say you don't care, but you care a little less because they're grown.
Right.
It's unfortunate, but it's the truth.
I call that like the Stranger Things effect. Like it's like you can relate so much, because I was telling you earlier that we can all relate to those times where we had like that one summer where we just went around on our bikes with our friends, played in the woods, and because you were able to stay out until, you could tell your parents, all right, I'm leaving for the day, and go hang out with your friends all day. And they might not know where you could go all around the neighborhood. They wouldn't know where you were.
No.
You can't do that these days. Nobody does that. Everybody's monitoring everybody. So it's like, I think that's why we can all look back. It's nostalgia really boosts those
absolutely.
Those kid focused movies and shows.
Right, but all in all, I loved it. I would say we could save a rating per se, like towards the end.
Yeah.
But I loved it, and I encourage everyone to go see it, especially if you like the first one.
Yes.
If you didn't like the first one, don't go see it.
Well, I have to say something. You're talking about comparing. This is just the second half of the story.
Right.
Yeah. It's not really it's not a sequel in a sense. Oh, if this didn't, now the first one didn't do well, there might not have been a second one. But it's not a sequel that was made. There was always a plan to make a part 2 because you had to. The book is so immense and everything, and also the miniseries that's based on the book too. So I mean, if you do like the first one, chances are I think you're gonna like this. Now you may be disappointed, but still, you should go see it. If you saw the first one and liked it, you should by all means go see this. I don't understand that.
Now, without spoiling anything, how do you feel they did about the casting for the older counterparts?
I thought they did a really good job. Like I know everyone is. A lot's been said about Bill Hader, obviously, and his role, and I thought I have absolutely nothing bad to say, but he did a tremendous job. He did great. I think that I and again, you and I chatted earlier briefly about this. I thought he did a tremendous job. I don't see the whole like, oh my God, this is the Bill Hader performance of a lifetime thing that I've been hearing. Like he makes the movie. I didn't think he was. I think because of the character that he is, he gets to play the fun-loving character who gets all the good, funny lines, like the good zingers, and he brings the levity to the situation.
Well, you need that. You definitely need that. I think it's also because it really kind of in parts corresponds with the character he plays on Barry, the hitman who wants to be an actor. And that's a great show, a very dark comic show, and I think what people are making, they're so used to the characters that he plays on Saturday Night Live. This is kind of a departure in some ways. I mean, but I could point back to the movie he did with Kirsten Wiig, the Skeleton Twins, where he did a really good job. That was a great movie. And that's not a like funny haha like laugh out loud kind of movie, but a comedy in one sense. But you know, he's definitely displayed this range before, but it does seem like there is a bandwagon. He is very good in it, but I thought all the performances for this, I thought the casting was spot on.
I thought it was too.
Y'all like the casting. Now, did you believe in their friendship? Like the kids, we believed that they were friends.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like could you feel it? Like could you feel it when they finally reconnected? Or like did you feel like they were actually, you know?
I did. I thought personally, I thought the guy that played Eddie did a really good job. I thought he was the one that, like, I could really, not only did, I think, for me, that cast move, he looked the most like the younger kid. Like, that legit looked like that kid grew up to be that.
Right.
Whereas, they did good with all of them.
Even Stan.
Even though we didn't see Stan that much, when they did show him, I was like, wow.
No,
like,
Stanley I was really impressed with. I was really impressed with that. And I thought McAvoy was very good.
He was tremendous. The one that was kind of like off to the side, kind of where it took me a minute to be like, let me see his chemistry with them, was the kid, the really good-looking one that played the chubby kid who grew up. I feel like it took him a little bit to, but where I was like, okay, I see his connection with everybody else.
But even worse than that, though, I would say who didn't kind of look like the younger Kyle, because all of them kind of looked like, except for, to me, Henry Bowers.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of...
That guy, I wasn't feeling... I couldn't sit... They gave him the mullet, but I still was like...
I did like that line about the mullet.
Oh, man.
Come on, man, cut the mullet.
Nah, all right, we're not going to spoil. Matter of fact, hold on. Before we switch sides, do we have anything else you want to say before we jump into score? We could jump in, because I know I'm...
You're dying to just... You're dying. All right, let's go. Let's just do it. Let's do it.
So right now, alert, if you have not seen the movie, exit stage left. Now, we are going to talk spoilers. We're going to talk about the movie in depth. So please make sure that you leave if you have not seen it. All right?
Get the hell out of here.
There you go. RJ in the house.
There we go. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Hit chapter 2. Spoilers. We going in. The movie starts off.
That was intense.
That caught me off guard.
Off break. There's a
couple that a male couple that is walking away from like a state fair,
carnival or something like that, and they're getting picked on,
getting harassed.
They're
really.
getting harassed
horribly,
horribly. Really,
and
it's a painful. I thought it was very painful.
It was
very
I forgot my fault. They were beating on them and all. They got real. It's unreal laughing. They get thrown in the ocean and like you just feel so bad about the people. I'm like, where's this movie going?
Yeah.
And it doesn't get better for the guy that gets thrown into the pool because he tried to get to the edge for safety, and that's where you see good old Pennywise with the helping hand.
Yep.
And
boy, did he help him out.
Oh yeah, did he help him? My
the
God.
guy's boyfriend comes to the other side of the lake so he can see him, but he can't get to him. And oh man, Penny just take a big old bite of the.
Takes a very big bite, and we get to see a lot of that in this movie.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like to me, there were a lot of scenes in this movie where I knew something was coming, that it was gonna be scary, but it scared the shit out of me anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry for that. I don't know if we're allowed to curse, but
Penny was so vicious.
Dude,
he is vicious in this.
He was like, even that one bite that starts it all off, like you literally see the meat hanging from his mouth as it's just, and he's just savage.
And the saliva.
Yeah,
the saliva is a precursor
he's just
to.
so savage. And like, my thing is, I kind of, when I watch horror movies, I always kind of feel like the person that's already having the bad life, we should give them a break. Like, get the back. No, like, I mean, you know, you fast forward to the little girl with her mother at the baseball game.
that got me too. And again,
that's
the
thing
firefly.
That made me jump.
The firefly pulls her away from the mother, and she goes under the bleachers, right under everybody.
Yeah.
And Pennywise is there. She has like a birthmark with
it's like birthday effect, some kind of birthmark.
Something on her face.
I'll blow it away.
Yeah. Penny kind of reels her in. Nobody wants to be my friend. I'm ugly. Like, he's baiting her and he's reeling her in.
Baits her.
You know, he's like, oh, that thing on your face, I can get that off with a simple blow. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Baits her in. He's like, okay, I'm gonna blow. 1, 2.
Dude, and that's what the thing is. That's a perfect example. And then he does the side eye, and I noticed that because he did that in the first one too, like where
with Georgie.
With Georgie, where he gets to a point where he's talking with his about to be victim, and then he does that pause thing where he almost like falls into a trance because he's so ready to just eat them, and the eye goes sideways, like one of his eyes, and he starts to drool, like you said, the saliva, and then. But I knew it was coming. I knew he was going to.
The way they pull you in, it's like that pause, and everybody's like, actually, if you saw the commercial where the grandma just pauses.
Yeah, that one too.
And then finally start talking. It was like that.
Yeah.
But then this time the girl speaks, and she's like, you're supposed to say, before she can get the word 3 out her mouth, teeth open. It ain't like one of the slow like effects of the teeth crawling. No, it's straight like, oh my gosh, like he was vicious in this one. Like, and there were a lot of scenes like that.
That's right. Those are the scenes that made me. Those are the scenes against the children.
Yeah.
Those are the scenes that really affected me. Against the adults, I'm not saying I didn't care, but those are the scenes that really jumped out at me the most.
But the number one that I've been waiting to get this off my chest. The number one scene that scared the bejesus out of me.
Yeah.
I mean, I have not jumped. I've seen a lot of horror movies, and I you know, they scare me. Whatever, you feel like the goosebumps, like you get the chill up your spine. I have not jumped out of my chair for a horror movie in a long time. And this scene, I mean, I legitimately, I don't know what I was expecting. It was the
right, because you knew something. I knew something was gonna happen.
The Paul Bunyan scene when freaking Paul Bunyan was up in his face when he turned the camera.
When you see that in the beginning, you know that statue's coming to life. I'm sorry, the first time you see that statue,
but it was like I didn't figure out how or when. It was equivalent to the chapter 1 scene when they was in the projector room.
Yes,
and
that is a
the
really
way
good.
He jumped out. It was like that. It's like you saw him up there and you hear the voice, and then the way the camera that's one thing they did good. Like how they pulled you in. The camera just turned and it's a huge face.
Yeah,
a huge face.
And you made a good point earlier about how, like, obviously with the camera work, you cannot avoid looking at some of this because they zoom in so much that it takes up the whole screen.
It almost feels like it's a 3D movie.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
It's crazy.
It does.
Even when Bowers, Pennywise was trying to get Bowers out of the prison, I guess. Yeah. So he was trying to give him the knife, and instead of simply giving him the knife like he did in the 1991, it was a balloon under his bed. When the balloon popped, it's the ugliest face in the world, but it was his friend from 27 years ago that got killed by Penny.
Patrick,
and he's crawling all out of the bed, all crazy.
An observation. It's just an observation. It could be just me. I thought it was very loud. The movie. It's a loud movie. I felt my chair vibrating. I thought the art light, but it felt like it. But I mean, there's especially the last act. I felt like it was so loud, so intense in that regard.
And then this was not a 4D movie.
It's not a 4D.
Not 4D. This is
no, but I felt like it was like a vibration though, and there are some very. I mean, well, I say it's not maybe not as. I don't think it's as scary as the first one. It's still very. There are moments of intensity though, that are, and especially the last act. I think. And
the last act, we gotta definitely touch on that. Especially how. hold on, pause. There was a lot of things throughout the movie that they threw not even hints at. Was straight blatant. You don't write good endings.
Yeah, I think
that was hilarious.
I didn't mind that. I love that, and we were listening to another
cameo.
The cameo.
Stephen King was in the movie.
And it just shows you, because there was a time he wouldn't get behind a lot of stuff, and now he's very behind this, obviously, and that he's in it. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was going to be in there. I'm sure he's been in. I know that he's been in others. Remember, he directed a movie. Stephen King has directed his own Maximum Overdrive, and it's a pretty bad movie. It's where the machines or cars and everything come alive. It was, and the soundtrack by AC/DC, by the way, is excellent. But the movie itself, not so good. But no, that he was in this, I think it shows you, we do, like I said, we're living in a time of, I think, really good Stephen King adaptations. Gerald's Game, 1922, I think, was another one that was on Netflix I like. But no, several. But the thing about the endings I thought was hilarious. I mean, and I like that. We were listening to something earlier where someone was complaining and he thought that was overkill. I'm like, no, you need that in the movie. I thought you need the levity. You need that.
Yeah, the ending was great. We all know it ends with a giant spider, if you saw the 1991, but they did a good job. It was more like a Horseman type vibe. Like, yeah, you had your spider type thing, but you still saw Pennywise, which was great.
So like a centaur,
Yeah,
horse
like a centaur, yeah. It was great. Like that. That's why I really love how they did this one. One thing about the 1991, everything, like the people that died back then are the people that died. Stan, like we said, he didn't make it. It was really like 6 of them the whole movie. But that's how it was. Eddie, unfortunately, R.I.P. He died. He got stabbed through his body, through his chest or what. So like they really touched on those things. Now, this is what I didn't like about the ending. I wasn't feeling the whole "we're gonna call you names to make you little" thing. I just wasn't feeling that. I get the point though. If you believe it, you can hurt them. You know, when they was kids, they had the gun with no bullets, and they would hurt them, or the spray,
the
asthma pump. He was like, "This is poison," or whatever, slime, and he'll spray it. It'll hurt him because they believe. I get that, but I feel like the kids was more like viciously trying to end him in when they were kids than it was when they were adults, just calling him names, you little clown, you zombie, you bully. And then that's how he got small enough for them to rip his heart out. I wasn't loving that. That was my only. If you could name something that you didn't like, that's mine.
Right. Well, I want to bring up something before we get any further. So it's you and Dante's talk about the 1990. That was on TV, and you guys didn't know that. That originally was shown on TV as a mini-series, I think in 1990 or 91. And then they did it with The Stand. And these are all things that ABC made for a mini-series. They also did the same thing with the original Bourne books, Jason Bourne books. Those were all ABC mini-series. Those were not movies to begin with. They were all mini-series. But what I have never, before I came here working with you guys, I never have heard people talk so like that. That scared them. The miniseries.
It did. Yeah.
To me, that was news to me, because no one ever talked. Well, no one talks about these things anymore. But that really shocked me. So you guys actually made me very excited to see the movie, because you really added new interest. So.
And I feel like that's why so many people wanted to see this remake, because the original one messed them up.
Messed up.
Like, I just realized. Like recently, when I went back and watched the old one, they didn't even show the kills. Back then, they just showed a close up and then the guy would die. They didn't even show. I didn't even realize that. But as a kid,
I was texting my friend earlier today to tell her that I had gone to see it, and she hates horror movies. She will not go see it. So she was obviously like, "Oh hell no! Like, you can never get me to see that." She was like, "But she said I saw it, the first one, back when I was a kid, the old one with Tim Curry," and she was like, "I still to this day will not walk near sewer gutters. You know,
right.
She said, I won't do it. I won't. I'll never do it again, and I won't let my kids do it either." And I was like, That's how much of an effect that movie had on that generation.
Yeah, it had. The younger generation, that definitely did. I mean, you should think of Tim Curry is.
Tim Curry.
I mean, that's what he's been in a lot of iconic stuff, but that's, I think, the thing that he's remembered most these days is for that role. I mean, not Rocky Horror Picture.
And Clue, too, probably.
Clue, yeah. Clue is another one that has a huge cult following.
Yeah.
But
there were the flashbacks a little too much. I've seen people complain, like, they wanted the adults more.
Yes, and that's where I think my thing is with it. I think some of the flashbacks go on too long, and I think I think for me personally, they take you out of the movie because this part's really supposed to be about the present. They're adults, so I think now that's nice. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice touch, but I thought in some instances they went on too long. That's just so that's one of the things that I have a problem with. Is I think some of that because I was like, well, wait, are we talking about we're really now focusing on adulthood, but I feel like we're going backtracking. But I understand it, but I just thought some of it could have been trimmed a little.
You agree, or what you think?
I agree, but I also liked the additional footage that we got, like the arcade scene.
Yes, no.
You know,
Oh, that's
I
pivotal.
was
We
glad
didn't touch on that.
the arcade
about
scene.
Richie and
that's what I'm saying. And correct.
The pharmacy scene.
The pharmacy
That
scene.
freaked me out.
That freaked me out too.
That freaked me out because he's a tumor, and I was like, oh god, it freaked me out. I was like,
why would you go down
why would
that?
you go down there?
Well,
Why would you go down there?
That's the thing.
Knowing all the crap you've been through, why the hell would you go down
That's
there?
the thing. I was just like, meanwhile, while that was going on, I think a woman went left the wrong way out of the theater and turned on to set off the fire alarm. Not the fire alarm, but just a little alarm thing. I was like, you idiot. But yeah, but that scene, the pharmacy thing, freaked me out.
Yeah.
But what I genuinely had questions after the movie. So I took away from that Richie was gay.
Yes. And he had a crush on
Eddie.
Yeah.
Now that was not the case in the original one, right? Was that
I don't
new?
I don't remember.
No.
I can't remember.
I don't think so, and I can't even say that was a part of the book per se. Like I can't say
I
that
don't.
was or not.
Yeah, I can't say
If it
that.
was,
I don't remember
But if
that.
you can, please comment if you read the
please
book.
comment if you read the comic.
I've
book
read a
is
lot
like
of Stephen
900
King.
pages.
I have not. I don't think I've read it. I would have remembered read it. I read several. I read The Stand. I read Gerald's Game. A lot. But I think the reason I didn't read it because I just watched the miniseries at the time, so it was just I didn't bother with it. That's dumb on my part. But no. I do think we're all making a big thing about Bill Hader, but I thought McAvoy was good, and I'm mixed. I think Jessica Chastain did a good job, and I know, as someone pointed out, Rand, are you only basing this on redheaded actresses? Because I kept saying Amy Adams would have been a very interesting choice. My friend was like, "No, you got to stop that." No,
I would even say Mike. We talking about an actor that's known for being the old Spice Man.
That's who that was, right?
Yeah.
When I saw
good.
his name,
I
thought he did a
old-
tremendous
I
job.
think he did a great job, and one of the things I liked about him because I felt he had the whole weight of the whole everything in the whole movie is on him.
Yeah.
And he has, and obviously
He had to bring him back.
He also has this horrible thing is that the thing he's coaxing them to do and everything, it's not foolproof, and he knows that.
Right.
And when we learn that,
You learn that his face.
that's what we're talking. Mike, the guy who plays Mike is superb in this. I did not know it was the old. I had
the
no
old
idea.
Spice Man.
And I thought that he really, like, portrayed the original guy from the 1991 one too. With the same mannerisms and everything, like the spastic, like expression.
Yeah.
No, you gotta believe me, kind of
Since
thing.
we are talking spoilers, the two things I like to relate to, I like first of all we get an origin, we get where this thing, and I thought that was very good. And that kind of reminded me of John Carpenter's The Thing in some ways. But I also
speaking of the thing, that scene.
the scene with the spike,
The head, and the legs come out.
There's a lot of like 80s nostalgia homage in this, and there's a lot of Easter eggs. A lot for Stephen King fans. There's a lot of Stephen King.
There's a lot of. They even hit you with the "Here's Johnny."
Yeah, here's
hit
Johnny.
you with that one at one point when she's
Yeah.
in the bathtub. I mean, the bathroom and it's filling up with blood.
Let's talk about that because you and I had this conversation a couple of months ago when the interview. Do you think? All right, she said that scene
Had
the most blood
ever in a movie.
I was thinking that while I was going. Do we think it has more blood than the elevator opening in The Shining? I know there's a silly conversation, but she did say it on Jimmy Kimmel. I think.
I also feel like I've seen other movies
It's weird.
There's got to be like a Quentin Tarantino movie that's got a shit ton of blood.
Yeah.
Hey.
Not that one.
Not this one. This
That's
one's
a
a
better
very.
time.
I would say like the vampire one.
Is it the most?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
There's blood flying all over the place.
But not like I know what she's saying.
I get what she's saying too, but
I don't know.
When you put a pool of blood, it's kind of cheating to me. Like I can't really say it's the most blood ever.
The blood, I think, and I know it's like it was something because she just brought it up, but I was thinking about that throughout that sequence about how much blood. I do think when I think of that thing, I always think of the scene in The Shining where the elevator doors open up.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's another Stephen King, famous that he does not like, by the way. He hates actually. But
how do you guys feel about it being close to 3 hours long?
It didn't really seem like that to me.
Yeah.
I think I was engrossed in it. I felt like they did such a good job going from one thing to the next and not spending too much time on it, like they would do, each person's one-on-one, like when they're like, we got to go back and get our token.
Mm-hmm.
So you do, McAvoy's thing where he's with Stephen King in the bike shop and all that, and then talking to the kid with the gutter, and then you went boom, you went to Eddie in the pharmacy, and then boom, you went to the. I'm not doing them in order.
No.
But I thought they did a good job.
I think that they did, but like I said, I think in some of the flashbacks and everything, they could have trimmed it down and it would have flowed in that sense. I know what people are talking about the length. I don't know how with so many characters you make it shorter though.
Right.
That's the thing. I don't know how you do
That's
that.
like saying make the Avengers an hour and a half.
Well, good luck with that.
Exactly. It's too many characters is what I'm saying.
You have a lot of
no talking,
characters.
just fighting.
I mean, but it's a lot of characters, so it's really hard to do that. Now I will say this: when we know we're getting to the third act, we know that. I felt that sort of when we know we're getting there, we're at the act 3. I felt that was taking a little bit. They were taking their time. I thought, I thought if I was there were like a couple minutes here and there, I would have taken out. Just me.
I agree, but I do feel like in some things they sped up. Like as fast as he got them to Derry, I didn't expect it to be that fast. It was literally calls, "Hey, come back," and it was like 5 minutes later. He was getting everybody back. Very I felt like that cut down on a lot of time. I didn't expect us to be sitting at that scene when they all at the Chinese restaurant. I didn't expect that to happen.
Let's talk about that scene.
I loved it.
That turned up too.
I loved it.
They turned it up.
Fortune cookies.
Yeah.
Was that what was?
That's from the 1990s.
Yes, Stanley couldn't cut it.
It was
who's gonna pay for that mess? Who's gonna?
That's what I thought.
He had the chair and was banging the table like, and the man was like, "You want the check?"
Yeah.
Everybody added something extra on that check.
Yeah.
I mean, my fault. I know what we was talking about. The rituals. How'd you feel about the rituals?
That was the one,
origin.
That was the one thing for me that I did not like it. I loved the movie, so obviously I liked it. When I first heard that part, like where he was like, "I went to this Indian village and they showed me the way and I drank their thing, their magic tea and all," and they showed me, and I was like, I don't know. This seems like kind of forced. Like they couldn't come up with any other way, so they're like, of course, it's an Indian ritual. That's the way you're going to meet them.
I thought it was better than the Dreamcatcher movie ware the aliens come out your asshole when you're taking a dump.
Wow.
Talk about bad diarrhea there.
But some things, and this is the one issue that I'm kind of having, not to talk about, but the Joker movie that's coming out. For some villains, for me, they are the best when there's no origin to explain them. They're just pure evil. And for me, it is just pure evil. I don't need to know where it was born, how its journey getting here, why it came necessarily. I mean, I don't not appreciate that. I like it. I thought it fit well in the movie, but I could have done without it as well. And that's my concern about the Joker movie, is that the Joker, to me, all of his renditions has always just been the Joker, except for the Killing Joke, really, where they kind of go
They
into...
do the Killing Joke. They do the Alan Moore, which this is now. We know we've always known it's based on this. That was the guy in the comments for our Joker video did say that Todd Phillips was taken out of context as misquoted, because everyone knew this was kind of had some basis in the Killing Joke. But going on about that, there's an argument to be made about a lot of that's backstory, and backstory is exactly that. It doesn't need to be a full movie. So I appreciate that we have at least as a backstory, as opposed, hey, let's make a prequel or something. No one wants that.
Right. So they touch on it, and they didn't touch on it at all in the first one, honestly.
Yeah.
So the whole ritual thing, even though we brought it up, let's talk about it. It didn't work.
Yeah.
They tried, and the big red balloon came, burst the whole bubble,
Man.
and that's when Mike got put on blast. Like, you thought this was gonna work? You must not have told him. This ain't work for nobody else. And so it was like a whole thing, and that's when they really turned up, because you really thought it was over. Like,
so now I'm wondering, but I'm wondering, because they did get just doing the ritual got the deadlights to come down into the bin. So I don't know. Now I'm wondering if it did work. That specific part of it worked to get it into the bin, or if Pennywise was just fucking with him. Like he was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, you're getting me. Yeah, you're getting me. You're getting me. And then like break their spirit.
I kind of thought that was gonna happen too when they was reaching in to get his heart out. I was like, this has got to be a joke because like I didn't like the name calling making him small. Right?
Yeah.
But I mean, all in all, I feel like it was a great movie.
Yeah.
If I would have rated it out of 10, I would give it like a. I would give it like an 8.5. I would give it like an 8.5. I enjoyed it. It's only one thing that I didn't like, and if they would have changed that out, that's probably one of the most complete movies that I like. And the only reason I'm not making it worse is because I know the book is like this, so I can't really grade something on it. Why you ain't do this? Well, they studying, you know, they going by what they had. Yeah. So that's why I'm not taking it lower. But that's my opinion. Yeah. What do you think?
I'm between like a 7.5 to an 8. That's where I'm at. I definitely would like to watch it again at some point. If not right now, I definitely want to see it again. I like to actually watch both, like as a whole, like that's like a whole day affair. Pretty nice. Yeah. But no, I would like to do that. Like I said though, I mean, we're right now still in the Stephen King top-notch first-rate adaptation era. So I know trust me, I know I've seen worse. I've seen things that are a lot really bad.
I've seen things.
Like, not like RJ has, but no, I have seen.
Wow. So you rated out of 10. Out of 10.
I would say right now I'm at a 7.5.
7.5.
I'm gonna be the positive person here. 9 out of 10. I loved it. I really did love it.
Good for you, man.
I really did love it.
9 out of 10, man. It was full of thrill, adventure, companionship. You name it, it was in there.
Speaking of the Joker, what did you all think of the Birds of Prey?
Oh yeah, that tied in.
So I'm sorry, this is a huge spoiler. The movie fakes you out. Like after all the trailers are done, and you know whatever theater you're in, let you know, silence your phones. The movie about to start. Yada yada yada. Balloons come up. You know the Warner Brother things. You think the movie's about to start, and then it is Harley Quinn busting all these balloons, saying, "I'm so sick and tired of clowns." Da 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 da. Oh, I loved it.
That was good. That was good. I like that. That was good.
I'll be honest. I don't know how excited I am for this movie because I just don't.
They're not giving me enough.
I don't see how.
You're gonna get more soon.
I think we're gonna get
maybe
more.
In front of the Joker movie. Maybe.
I don't see her as a solo movie holder, a character that's.
She is a solo movie, but she's not the Birds of Prey, which was, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was on the WB.
Yeah,
it was a show on it. So it's the Birds of Prey, but Harley Quinn. I think you at this point, because Harley Quinn is one of the high points of the Suicide Club movie, and it's Margot Robbie. I mean, she's having a bang up year as it is, but
I mean, I didn't think Suicide Squad was great.
Suicide Squad is one of those movies. It's a fun movie, but Suicide Squad is one of those movies that could have been great. And I think that's what James Gunn is trying to do with the sequel. And if anyone can do it, he can do it.
There we go. So we're just getting clowns everywhere. Clowns here, clowns there, clowns there.
We got a lot of clowns this year.
We appreciate y'all. Hope y'all guys enjoyed the review. That was our spoiler review of It Chapter 2. Don't need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you guys come back and check us out for our next movie reviews or trailer reactions. We just doing it all. And if you got any requests, just let us know. All right. We out.
All right. Peace.
Don't forget to float.
They all float down here.